Hey everybody, and welcome back to War Games News Radio. My name is Ryan, and we're back here with another Fallout Wasteland Warfare preview and unboxing. More new models from the Commonwealth Wave. We've got two new box sets to look at here today, generously provided by the fine folks over at Modiphius for us to take a look at and preview to you fine viewers at home. And I'm super excited about these two boxes because it includes two of my favorite things, and that's robots and creatures. First up, we've got the Mr. Handy variant box set, which is the robot box I've been the most excited for so long now. And you have everything you need in this box to put together three different Mr. Handys. Previously, you could only get one, and it was only available in the Sanctuary Hills Heroes box set. But here we've got enough parts to build a Miss Nanny, a Mr. Handy, and a Mr. Gutsy. And the Commonwealth expansion for Fallout Wasteland Warfare includes all the cards you need to play these three different variants. The Mr. Gutsy is such a wicked, deadly, cool robot model, one of my favorites. And then, moving on to creatures, we've got the Deathclaw Matriarch. Now, this is an awesome, unique Deathclaw sculpt, which is different than the one that comes in the two-player starter set or the additional resin one that you can buy on its own. And, of course, there are specific rules for the Matriarch that makes her so much more deadly. You can actually find all the cards to play the Deathclaw Matriarch in two different expansions for Wasteland Warfare. The first being the Into the Wasteland expansion, which gives you a different way to play the game in a brand new game mode. And the second being the Commonwealth expansion, which includes all kinds of new missions and rules. If you want to take a look at all the goodies that come in that Commonwealth expansion, check out my review, which is going to be popping up here in one of these windows. That's not why you're here. You're here to see new models. So let's go ahead and take a look at these right away here, starting off with the Mr. Handys. Let's bust them open. Okay, so here we go. Right off the bat, we've got two little baggies for our Mr. Handy boxes here. So let's take a look first at what look to be the bases and the arms and the weapons. And then we've got the heads and or the bowler caps, which come with these, which are super fun and is an item you can equip your Mr. Handys with that come on all of these individual sprues here. So looking at these three, yeah, it appears that all three of these are actually identical, unless I'm missing something. I don't see any discernible markings that would identify one as the Nanny, one as the Handy, one as the Gutsy. So interesting. There's no sort of different sculpting or molds on the three different Mr. Handys there. That's a little disappointing, to be honest. I was hoping to have at least a military star on one, but I guess that's what the paint job is depicting here on the box art. So not an actual different model for any of these, just different ways that you can paint them. You do get the three different bowler hats, which is handy. So let's take a look here at the bases. Yes, we do in fact have three different distinct bases. Okay, and they each appear to have one of each of the three different standard Mr. Handy attachments, the flamer, the pincer, and then the buzzsaw. So this one's gonna be the standard Mr. Handy base. We've seen this one previously in the past in the Heroes of Sanctuary Hills box. And then these two are unique here. So that's kind of cool to discern your Miss Nanny with the stim pack, looks like it'd be like buff out, or some jet there in a first aid box, and then a good old ammo can on the one that's gonna be for the military Mr. Gutsy there. But what I'm really curious to see is, do we have different weapon options? So let's see here. We've got, okay, more buzzsaws and more pincers, more buzzsaws and more pincers, and more flamers. So unfortunately, not so much. Just the standard Mr. Handy weaponry that appears on the box. There are a whole host of different Mr. Handy variant weapons added from the Commonwealth Wave, including a laser arm, a plasma rifle arm, all kinds of fun stuff. But unfortunately, nothing to emulate that in the resin itself. Obviously, Fallout Wasteland Warfare is not a WYSIWYG game, but I was curious to see if we would see any more unique weapon and or arm options on these Mr. Handys, because that is something that has been introduced in this wave in particular with the Gunners, the Railroad, and the Children of Adam, which you can check out all those reviews popping up here as well. But they all have unique weapon options that you can swap, unlike these Mr. Handys. But of course, you can always use some magnets and throw on some different arms and whatnot to mod out your specific robots. If you want to check out how I've modded my robots, then you can check out the Wasteland Workshop video that's going to be popping up here. The bases are quite nice, so that's kind of cool that you've got some uniqueness there. And I guess it's going to come all down to how you paint these robo boys and gals. You know, the bonus here being that you can get 3 in a box now, the downside being not much in the way of customization. So there you go, a few pluses and a few minuses. Either way, really cool to see these all available in one place now. put those on the table to put together at a later date. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this Deathclaw Matriarch. Very excited to check out what we have in store here. Ooh, just one big bag full of one big lizard. Let's pop it open and take a look first and foremost at this base. Man, oh man. Okay, so we've got lots of detail here. We've got some Deathclaw eggs, which is pretty cool to see, looking pretty nasty there. We've got some skulls, looks to be of, some poor souls who've wandered into the Deathclaw's den and become a little bit of lunch. And then we've got some big old feet prints here, which look to be where you actually slot the Deathclaw into her base herself. And then a Giddy Up Buttercup. That's pretty cool on the base itself. So lots of detail on this scenic base. Always love what Modiphius has to offer as far as the bases go, but this one's really cool. We've got so much detail, broken windows, skulls, bricks, eggs. Really keen to get this one built, but let's take a look at what we're working with as far as parts. Oh my goodness. So we've got one big old body for Ms. Deathclaw Matriarch here. The head and tail on another sprue there, and then both arms. Oops, I've broken off one of the arms there, but it's still in good shape, just came off the sprue. So those have little pegs in there, which look like they slot in easy enough. Yeah, not bad. The pose that she has on this is kind of, doing the ape hangers sort of situation with her arms down low, so those slot in pretty nice. But I'm curious to see the size of this model versus the standard Deathclaw. Let's go grab the other Deathclaw here and put it side by side and see if there's any size comparison. Okay, got my standard Deathclaw here, and just sort of putting the Matriarch up next to him, I don't see... Yeah, no, it's pretty well spot on. She might be a little bit taller, but that's probably just because of the way that the pose is. But yeah, not any bigger, that's for sure. Same size base, which is going to be that 50 millimeter base size there, but she is much more deadly when it comes to the special rules, which she's able to do. Tons more attacks. She's a legendary unit, so there's multiple stat cards you have to get through if you want to try to take this thing down. Just an absolute beast. Again, if you want to take a look at how this unit plays out on the tabletop, then you can check out my video here in the season 1 finale of our battle report breakdown series, so you can check out how this unit works there. Box art paint job here is just amazing. Almost has that iridescent sort of chameleon type look to it. Just really, really good look. Curious to see what I'm going to do with it paint wise. Maybe an albino, maybe glowing, I don't know, all kinds of options running through my head. Really stoked to see the amount of detail that's been put into this thing. Just really outstanding. Those Deathclaw eggs are super gross, but super cute at the same time. Really keen to have some scenarios that might involve more Deathclaw eggs and Deathclaw Matriarchs. There you have it, sports fans. Another Fallout Wasteland Warfare unboxing and preview for the Commonwealth Wave. But make sure you're the first to know when they do drop. Go over to the Modiphius web store and sign up for their newsletter to learn all about the great stuff coming out in this wave. And make sure you check out all the other products that they've got available there, like Elder Scrolls Call to Arms, another game system that we're covering here on the channel. And if you want to see some of the new releases that are coming out for that game, then why don't you check out the link popping up here. And if you really want to support what we do here, then head on over to our Patreon page and follow the links in the description down below there as well, where you can help support the channel and get all kinds of benefits. We've got lots more videos coming your way every single week here on the channel, so stay tuned because as ever, WGNR will be back.